As we watched me get slaughtered live. Football's over. I've already lost.
This episode is made possible by our therapy partners Dirty B, Myra, and Pickett. From fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Pod Therapy. Real people, real problems, and real therapists. You can submit your questions anonymously at podtherapy.net or email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com. And now, broadcasting from the churn, that's Dr. Jim, that's Whitney, I'm Nick. It's time for some Pod Therapy.
Hi, I'm Whitney, and I'm from the South, and I like me some grits.
We've already done this
and
bit.
some horses.
Not from me, it's usually Jacob.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like I do it better than Jacob, to be honest with you.
Disagree.
That's so. A couple of notes.
Your go-to was grits.
Well, that's a Southern thing.
Fine.
Grits are gross, by the way.
Grits are not that bad.
They're
an idiot.
terrible.
You're an idiot.
We've been over this.
Grits have zero flavor to them. Grits are a vehicle for salt and butter and whatever you're putting on them, which means
they are an extension of a spoon.
Grits are delicious.
This is probably true. What do you eat grits with? Or do you just eat a bowl of grits?
I'll tell you the best way to eat grits. Some blackened shrimp. Do some blackened shrimp and grits.
and grits.
Fuck yeah. Shrimp and grits ain't no joke.
Is that a breakfast?
No, it's like a meal.
I thought grits was a breakfast.
I mean, sure.
It can be.
There's not like a grits police, though.
What is grits?
would
Is
be cool.
grits like mashed potatoes?
It's a corn product.
It's corn potatoes?
No, it's not potatoes at all.
It's mashed corn?
Sure.
It's cream corn?
If I say yes, can we move on?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what it is. All right. Thanks, everybody, for
No,
joining
it's
us.
a corn product.
Huh. I feel like I've had it as a kid, and I remember being like, oh, never again. So I don't have a depth of knowledge or memory about grits.
I don't think you know what grits taste like.
I don't think I do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just gonna fucking admit it. Like, I'm pretty confident I don't even know what it is.
Have you ever had quinoa?
Yes.
Yes.
It's kind of a similar consistency to quinoa. It's like a thicker quinoa.
Is it
I'm just talking consistency here. It's like a thicker version of quinoa.
But is it in a pudding?
No, it's kind of like a gelatinous
It's kind of
mass.
Isn't it almost kind of like mashed potatoes in the sense, like, as far as consistency?
I'd say it's
Kinda
closer to
little bit
quinoa.
like that.
Or
Yeah,
cream
it's
of wheat?
It's somewhere. Yeah, it's
Cream of wheat,
It's
yeah.
in
that
that
seems to be the ballpark.
Yeah.
because it's not runny. You can
Okay.
eat it with
Yeah.
a fork.
Okay.
It'll sit on a fork.
Okay.
It should.
Yeah.
You can get them runny
Solid enough.
that they have to be with a spoon.
Got it.
I don't like that much water in my grits.
Yeah. Nobody wants watery grits.
No.
I like solid, dry grits. Dusty.
Are you trying to tell me that a grit absorbs boiling water faster when it is being cooked on your stove than anywhere else in the known universe?
Were these magic grits?
Are these magic grits?
What is this from?
My cousin Vinny.
Yeah. I love that
right.
movie.
I'm bastardizing the quote, but you get the idea.
All right. So it's an Italian
I'm also
delicacy.
not trying to do a Joe Pesci voice.
Yeah. It's probably better not to. But
Yeah.
All right. Other news. Speaking of Pickett, our new therapy partner, did you see Pickett's hilarious Discord post? It is glorious. We have, I won't even share it, because that's Patreon only stuff. I'll tell you guys about it later, but it's really
you've
good.
brought it up.
I brought it up. Patreon.com/therapy. Come check out all the extra content at patreon.com/therapy.
If I knew what it was, I would just tell you all
guys-
of you what it was.
Guess what I did last night?
Ooh, was it something dirty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you later.
Oh, yeah. Good. I'll pay to find out. That's how I get information.
$1 a month.
Let's just keep doing this.
Let's
Keep
just
doing
keep
this
doing
all night.
If you would like to hear us discuss all sorts of things from the ability to ice skate to the ability to skateboard, which there, I believe, again, has been fraud, okay? The Patreon is filled with what it can only be described as outright fraud. Patreon.com/therapy, you can hear all about it because I believe lies were told, and I believe that there must be a reckoning where there's a demonstration of abilities. And I can't wait to see these two middle-aged men absolutely on the ground with broken ankles, busted up knees, fat lips.
I won't be, because I won't try to do anything that I can't do, which isn't much.
No. We agree that it's the minimum. We all agree. I'm not asking you to do a fucking, anything. Don't do a goddamn half pipe.
I'm really not sure that I could ride a skateboard and turn a corner on it.
I don't even expect that, honestly. Straight line.
Yeah.
Straight line.
I can give you a straight line.
Give me the length of our parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I got
From
that.
end
Fine.
to end. Straight line.
$1,000?
Okay.
That's a little rich for my blood. I'd bar tab it.
All right,
I'd put a bar. Sold.
Each.
We've got a great show. Hopefully today it's a Whitney-free episode, which means there are no pants in this place. Everybody's just dangling. It's gonna be a good one in my mouth. Yeah. Jingles also. Thanks again, Dave Sorensen, for the newest one. Really appreciate it.
And we got to use it.
God.
Yeah.
Didn't he also write Jim's Tales of Woe?
Yep.
Dave's just on fire lately.
I believe he did.
All right. First question. My mom is getting married, from Anonymous. Dear Nick, Jim, and all-knowing life coach Jacob.
Woohoo!
I am 34 years old and recently got married in June of 2023.
Congratulations.
At my wedding rehearsal, my mom told me she had a new boyfriend. I didn't think much of it. My mom has had a few boyfriends since she and my father divorced in 2018. It was a mutual decision, amicable separation, and they and their respective families remain friendly to this day. At this point, I should mention that my wife and I live in Florida, and the rest of the family is in Michigan. A month later, she told me they were moving in together, and this started raising red flags for me. They had only been together for a couple of months. This seemed fast. It also involved her giving up her apartment to move into his house. My mother makes a modest living and barely scrapes by. I was immediately worried about what would happen if this didn't work out. She likely couldn't afford to start renting again. She kept constantly texting me and calling me and telling me how great this guy is and how much her cats are loving having a... Did we already have this question?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I was just about to make a joke about the cats that I don't remember making before.
That checks out. I forget sometimes because I read all the questions way in advance because I read them when they come in. And I think sometimes my brain doesn't remember if I read it out loud or if I read it in my head. Anyway, she kept constantly texting me and calling me about how great this guy is and how much her cats are loving having a big house to run around and play in. Cue Jacob. There it is. Great joke. Also, I think you oversold the joke. I called her one morning.
No. I had like 3 parts of a joke in my head. Like they involved multiple pussies. There was a lot of stuff going on in there.
Fair.
I settled on the meow.
All right, you know what? Modest. I like that. I called her one morning and gave her my concerns, stating, if I was giving up everything to move in with someone I met 2 months ago, you'd be calling me saying, what the hell are you doing? So that's what I'm doing for you. She assured me that she had thought everything through and this was the choice she wanted to make. I still wasn't thrilled with the idea, but she's an adult and can do whatever she wants. My goal has never been to dictate to her what she can and cannot do. So we moved on. I have briefly spoken with both of them over Zoom call. So I've met him once. Seems like a nice guy and someone I'd share common interests with. Then last night, he proposed to her. She said yes. I lost my mind. I never responded to any of her text messages and called my sister after I got off work. My sister and her husband live near her and share my concerns, and they informed me that they have met some of his children who also agree with us that they are moving too fast. Mom kept repeatedly reaching out to my sister and my wife, trying to get a hold of me. My wife covered for me and told her that I had an overhire gig and wouldn't be home till after midnight, so she'd likely not be able to get a hold of me. I didn't want to talk to her because I knew they were both excited and happy, and I didn't want to ruin their moment with my anger. I've not talked to her yet, but I'm just very concerned about her moving so fast. It's blowing up in her face, or I'm afraid of it blowing up in her face, and her not being able to recover. She's an adult, and I respect her autonomy to make her own choices, but she keeps trying to get my approval on her fiancé, and I refuse to pass judgment on someone I've never met. Even if I like the guy, I don't think they should be getting married after only knowing each other 3 months. I know this conversation where I am going to have to tell her how I feel is coming, and I'm dreading it because I'm afraid she'll turn it on me. I want to be happy for her, but I just can't right now. Sincerely, Spotlight Scoop.
Okay.
3 months. Do we know how old Mom is? I guess
I'm assuming older than Spotlight Scoop.
Yeah, let's say 50s, 60s. Let's put it in that range. That feels right. Mom and Dad divorced in 18. Mom starts dating the new guy for 3 months. New guy proposes. That's a tough situation.
is the question, do we have a problem with this? Or is the question, what should Spotlight do about it?
I like a little of both. I like a little bit of both on this.
I think here's kind of where I'm at is I'm kind of looking at the two things. Number one, looking at the long term. What's the big picture here?
Okay.
Yeah.
The big picture here is you want to have a good relationship with your mother.
Right.
I assume. Okay. So what does that look like right now? Having that
And
good
for mom to
relationship?
be happy and taken care of.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
For mom to be in good shape, and Spotlight wants to have a good relationship with the mom.
Yes. I definitely understand the need to make sure that you are calm and you're dealing with your emotions first before you have contact, because you don't want to say something that is going to make things worse.
Yeah.
However, I don't know as if I'm a big fan of really just kind of ghosting her, and not replying to any messages.
Yeah, I think Spotlight's delaying.
Yeah, fine. But I think there does need to be at some point some sort of contact. Or even if you just say, hey, look, just be honest. I'm having a tough time processing this. Sure. Let me call you back in a couple days.
Yeah.
Fine.
I love you. I'm thrilled for you.
If you're happy, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Because obviously, your approval of her means a lot to her.
Yeah.
And so just from her perspective, her trying to call and getting no response whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough day for mom.
That's
Exactly.
a tough one.
And so if we're talking big picture, having a healthy relationship, having a good relationship with mom, we're doing more damage at that point than we're really doing anything positive.
I agree with that.
Right.
So I think if you need time, I would say just be honest with that and just say, hey, this seems really fast. I'm just going through, I'm thinking about it. I am happy for you. I just need some time to process.
Sure.
Let me call you back in a couple days.
That's fair.
I mean, that's the thing that, with a lot of people, it's just the up in the air, not knowing what's happening.
Yeah.
But if you tell somebody, hey, I will call you back on Friday.
Right.
Then they can at least settle their anxiety a little bit. About
there might still be some
having,
nerves, but at the very least, they know that there's a light over there at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
We're gonna have this conversation on Friday. Boy, am I nervous about this conversation, but we're gonna have it.
Yes.
How do you feel about the speed of this, Jacob? If that's your parent, 3 months, they got divorced. Okay, so your dad and your mom divorced, friendly, they're cool.
Yeah.
That was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
She's been dating this new person for 3 months. She's about to enter into a legal arrangement.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. A, how do you feel? B, what do you say?
All right. Those are two different questions.
I agree. They're very different questions.
I may feel as though it's quick. I may feel like the whole situation is moving fast.
Yeah.
There's that. That's kind of the end of my thought.
I still
on that,
have valid
honestly.
coupons, 90 days. I mean, those haven't even expired.
Right.
I got Kohl's cash I can spend.
That's honestly kind of the end of my thought process on that. I've known people. I have a family member whose husband passed away when they were older. Like passed away. They were both older, and then she reconnected. So it's not quite the same thing. She reconnected with someone that she had been friends with like back in high school.
Okay.
Hadn't seen each other for 50 years, 40 years, something like that. And they ended up, after a quick round of dating, getting married.
Okay.
And they're doing fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had a very similar experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is something, Spotlight Scoop, to you're older, you know what you want, you know what you don't want, you know what you're looking for.
Yep. I
Like
think you're right.
There's a real argument there that you can make that, like, yes, this is fast.
Yep.
However, these are two people that have done this before.
That matters.
I'm not saying that this is the case.
Yep.
I'm saying that this is a possibility. That we've done this before. We know what we're looking for in a partner. We know what we're looking for in a life mate.
Yep.
So there is that. I think you have to just kind of keep that on the back burner of your head.
Yep.
That it could just be as simple as that. What you do about it, I think, is the only thing that matters here.
Yes. Yeah.
I would ask from this point of view, Spotlight, do you think that telling your mother, that you and your siblings telling your mother that your mother's fiance's children telling him, everyone, this is moving too fast and we need to put a hold on this?
Right.
Do you think that would affect anything at all?
Yeah. You're going to have an intervention?
Right.
Like you're all going to come together and unionize?
And the answer to this may be yes. If you and your siblings get together and say, Mom, we are worried about this. You're moving way too fast with this guy. You need to pull back a little bit. You need to slow things down. She might be the type of person that if all of her children show up and say, this is what you need to do.
Right.
That might be just, she'll do it.
Right.
If she does it, there's going to be a lot of feelings there.
Yes.
There's going to be a lot of hurt there. There's going to be some damage done to her relationship with this guy that is probably not intentional on your part. All of that. I think the only thing you can do is go to her and say, you can voice your concern. You can say, Mom, I feel like this is moving really fast and that worries me.
Sure.
I want you to be as happy as you can be, and I want you to be as taken care of and as safe and everything else as you can be in life. This worries me.
Yep.
But if this is what you want to do, I'm not going to do anything but support you.
Only
you want me to be in the wedding. You want me to walk you down the aisle. Whatever you want to do, I'm going to do all of it. I'm in. I'm in for your happiness.
Yep.
I kind of think that's the only thing you can do.
Yes.
And also, I'll ask you this too. They're already living together.
Mm-hmm.
If they get married, will anything for your mom's situation in life change from what it is right now?
Right.
So it sounds like she's already moved in.
Yeah.
And that sounded like there was a concern from Spotlight that she was already moved in and might have lost a bit of autonomy there.
Right.
Might not be able to financially move out easily, things like that.
That seems to be a worry, yeah.
But it seems like that's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's done.
Good point.
So like
you're not going to change
married,
much.
Is it making it worse?
Yeah, it's only
if
improving
this is a bad
her
situation,
hand. Yeah, good point.
Does that make life any worse?
Yeah, hypothetically, I think you're right because it's only probably going to improve Mom's position.
Right.
If Mom has already leveraged like her low rent apartment or whatever to move in with this guy and the dogs are happy and there's more space, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think you're absolutely right because marrying only demonstrates more consistency, more safety.
Yeah.
Great. That's, if anything, if they said, no, we're never going to get married, but we're just going to try this out, I'm more worried kind of there because what if you guys get in a fight and he kicks you out? Like, are you moving in with me? But if you're married, he can't. Like that's not how that works.
No, it's the same. It's exactly the same. They're already
right.
Their lives are already
happens.
intermingled.
Yeah.
So I mean, if he's kicking Mom out of the house, or if she has to leave, that's the same whether they've signed a piece of paper or not.
So I have a theory on this, and I want you guys' opinion. And let me amend what I just said. I really don't want your opinion, but I'm going to throw it out there, and I'm going to see what your opinion is.
Okay.
Here's my theory on this. About this question of the amount of time they've been together, and how do we feel about that? I think that there's a dog years equation here that we need to uncover. Because if you tell me, if a 20-year-old comes to me and says, I've been dating this guy for 3 months, he proposed, I said yes, we are getting married. All right, I'm going to let that settle in for a second. Let everybody feel that. Okay, you feel that? All right, now a 50-year-old comes to you, fully erect. 50-year-old comes to you, says the exact same thing. Hey, I've been dating for 3 months, we love each other, he proposed, we're going to get married.
Now this is getting uncomfortable.
Also still erect, fully erect, 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
Cut diamonds. But here's my point. I feel, kind of alluding to what Jacob said earlier, there is a difference of the value and the concept of years at different phases of life. Not just what you know at 50 is different than what you know at 20. The value of 3 months, dog year style, I think is fundamentally different than 3 months at 20. The amount of what you might quote unquote call good years, 50 to 55, those 5 years are different than 22 to 27. I just think you value those years differently, and I think that you rapidly make a lot of decisions during the 50s decade, the 60s decade, the 70s. You make different decisions based on a different stage of life, and I think there's a dog year formula here that tells you you can, and I think that's not wrong.
Yeah, and that may or may not be the case.
3 months at 50, I think, is a year and a half at 20.
But let me ask you this too, Spotlight. You're however old you are. You're an adult, though. We know you're an adult. And or I think we assume you're an adult. Oh yeah, because Spotlight's married.
Yeah.
So yeah, Spotlight's an adult.
Or in a country where they allow that.
Correct. Well,
solid
either 14.
Way,
an adult.
Yeah.
Whatever
Adult
country
by
Spotlight
somebody's
is in,
definition.
they are now an adult.
Good point. We don't get to decide.
Yeah.
The nation you live in does. Good point.
at this point in your life,
Pod Therapy does not support child marriage.
I bet you would be a lot better at picking out a roommate. Like if I put you in a room
Right.
with 10 people
Right.
and said you've got an hour with each of these 10 people,
Yep.
I bet you would be a lot better at picking out a roommate
Good
now than you
point.
were when you were 18.
Really good
if you were
point.
put in that same scenario.
Yes. You know what to look for.
That's
you know
it.
what questions to
You know,
ask.
you know everything. Like
Yep.
the people that I work with, that I see that aren't like close friends of mine. You know, some people I work with are
Right.
close friends of mine. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about all the people that I'm like friendly work acquaintances with.
You know
that
what
when
to
we
look
pass
for.
by each other, we say hi to each other, whatever. I know which of them I'd be like, I could live with this person.
Yep.
I'm not living with this person if you pay me $1,000 a month.
Your expectations, I think, also are very different. Like
Right.
at different stages of your life. What you're looking for in like the companionship,
That's it.
what you're looking for is stability, staving off loneliness. Also, your social circle. I think, like you, Jacob, you shared the story about a family member who reconnected with a high school friend.
Yeah.
I think that happens a lot, actually, in those second and third marriages
Mm-hmm.
later in life, because the social circle of humans that you know, that you feel like a kindred history with, is just small. I mean,
Right.
just you're not out there meeting friends of friends of friends because you're always going to the bar, you know, or whatever.
Right.
Like, just I think your social circle gets smaller, and I think again, coming back to this idea that there's a different way to measure the seriousness of a relationship at different phases of life. I think time gets changed. I also think like the dating pool is so slim
Yeah.
that you take it seriously. Whenever you meet somebody, it's like, I could make this work. You know what you're
Also-
looking for, and I think you say yes to that.
Also, again, I kind of don't think any of that matters to what your actions
Yes.
need to be going
That's
forward.
all irrelevant. That's all irrelevant.
I
Yeah.
think you can really proportion your emotions towards this with what you know about this individual.
Right.
So, for example, you know, with Jacob's story about person, I very similar experience within my circle of friends and family. You know, knowing someone who went through a death,
Mm-hmm.
and then very quickly after that started seeing somebody else.
Yeah.
And
It's pretty common.
my immediate reaction, but it was the same thing. It was someone that they knew from high school
Yeah,
that they
right.
reconnected with, you know, and my very first reaction was, oh, that seems fast. But then almost immediately it was followed up with, but she's smart.
Yeah.
She's very wise. She knows
Yeah.
what she's doing. And
She's
I
got
don't,
this.
Yeah. And I don't need to be concerned about this.
Right.
You know, and so I think, you know your mom,
Yeah.
you know, kind of, some of her traits. I think there are situations, there are variables that could exist that would be red flags to me, but we don't have that information. Like, so for
Right.
example, if I was concerned that there was some domestic violence issues
Of
or
course.
power and control, obviously that's going
Yeah.
to be a concern, but I'm not really seeing any of that here. You didn't
If
bring
he
any
was
of
a
that up.
golfer,
Yeah.
you know, that'd be a red
Frequently
flag.
takes unregistered
Well, I mean, is he
flights
a member
to
at a country
Cuba.
club? Because that's,
Oh.
that's,
Is he having to get a lot of broken golf clubs repaired?
yeah, but
Because
is
if he is, big red flag.
okay, but is he a member at a country club?
I want to talk
Because
about the
that-
country club thing.
They kind of
It equals
balance
out.
each other
Yeah.
out. you
I
know?
want to talk about the country club thing. I'm interested in this question, but now
Okay.
I'm really interested in this country club thing.
Putting the tree in country club.
Let's put a pin in that.
All right. Yeah. I want to come back to it.
Okay.
Because I have questions about that.
Okay. Anyway, I kind of agree with both what Jim and Jacob are saying. At the end of the day,
Whitney,
at the end of the day,
I say the same things. Pew 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 pew.
My-
Texas.
to kind of use a CBT approach to this, again, the idea is that it's not the event that causes our emotions. It's the meaning that we give the event. And so I would ask you, because it seems like your emotions are very heavy with this. So what does this mean to you?
Yeah.
You know, and I what is the meaning that you're giving this? And it does sound like there is some fear, there's some concern, but then I think, again, going with the CBT approach, is that backed with evidence?
Right.
Or is this fear of the unknown,
Unknown.
or
Yep.
just, you know, is there anything to support any of the things that you're afraid of? Or is it just that you love your mom and you're concerned,
That's
which
it.
is perfectly
Right.
fine. So, I do think that there's a difference with age, and if she is responsible and she's made good decisions, she's got a history of making good decisions, then let's go with that. Give her
Yeah.
the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And as long as you have a healthy, good, close relationship with her, if things do go south, she knows that you're there.
Yeah.
And you're going to be there for support.
At this level, I agree with Jacob. You back her move at this point. There's only one play.
Yeah.
And in the absence of obvious red flags that you need an intervention style kind of problem, and I agree with you, Nick, there are none. Then there's only one move that we know of, and I think the move is: I love you. I'm thrilled that you're thrilled. I'm happy that you're happy.
Yeah.
I'm here for you. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, if anything goes wrong, I have a shovel and a trash bag. I'll deal with him, and I'll take care of her.
That's it.
And that's it. And that's 100% of what you could have done anyway.
I mean, at best, I think the only other move you have is along with that, just say, I do have concerns about the time.
Sure.
Like you can voice those in a way where you're just saying, like, Mom, I'm just worried about this thing.
Yep.
And maybe Mom can help alleviate those concerns.
Sure. I'm a little startled.
And honestly,
a little surprised.
If I was in this situation, if this is my mom, I would probably say that. I would say, hey, to me, this seems very fast. However, I know that you're really smart.
Yep.
I know you're wise.
I
know
trust
that
you.
you know what you're looking for. Yeah, I trust you. If things do go bad, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm willing to support, but I will support this, and
I love you.
I love you.
Because
Thrilled
as we
for you. That's it.
and as we've said too, with many other letters over the years, if you say to some, like when somebody's going back to an ex or whatever, or they break up with someone, and it's the whole thing where, like, as soon as your friend breaks up with someone, you don't go to that friend and say, good, because I hate that motherfucker
Don't do
you used to
that.
date.
Yep, same thing. Yep.
Because then they're not going to come to you the next time.
Don't do that.
You
Yep.
want Mom to keep coming to you. You
Yes.
want to keep that relationship. That's the
Yes.
ultimate goal here.
Yep.
And
That's
so
why
you
there's
want to
one
keep that
move.
relationship. So you say, I'm back in this play. First
Yep.
and foremost, I am with you.
You move, I move.
Whatever you want to do with this,
Yep.
I support it. Here are my concerns. If you can help me alleviate these concerns, that'd be awesome. If you can't, that's fine too.
Yep. I love you, Mom. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
And hey, if you guys end up having like a longer engagement just to kind of keep things in motion, keep learning what you like, make sure it works, kick all 4 tires.
Right.
That'd be great. But at the end of the day, I love you. I support you. I'm thrilled for
That's
you.
it. That's your only move.
That's it. That's the only move.
Without alienating Mom, that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah. Mom being an alien, I think, is not what we want.
Country Club.
Oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. Favorite wedding song. Love that one. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about age gaps in relationships. You're listening to Pod Therapy.
Today's episode is brought to you by our
You're doing great.
Man, it's like Nick didn't know this was going to happen.
our producers. Thank you.
Name here and insert other name.
Oh, Jake Schneider, Judy Schneider, Leon Kassab, Carolyn Albert, Sammy Scoop, Sarah Smith, Mike Helm, Darren Cunningham, Matt and Lisa Tangeman, and Mrs. Hot Dog Scoop.
There you go.
All right, we got some trivia today. The next one up, I'm actually going to save for when
Whitney's around?
what's her name's back. What's her
Yeah.
name?
It's a good story.
Blondie.
Whitney. Yeah, that's it.
Mercedes.
That feels right.
No, it's about crystals.
I knew a woman who pronounced it Mercedes, and I was like, huh, okay.
From Myra, hello. Today's trivia offering is random trivia. I've hidden the multiple choice answers to see how smart you really are.
Oh,
or
great.
not.
Well, I'll be disappointed.
If you answer without the choices, it's 2 points.
Ooh, that's fair. I like that.
Once the choices are revealed, you can only get 1 point.
That's fine.
All right.
I like that. You can buy it with your point.
Good luck, Myra. What is the only food that cannot go bad?
Honey.
Yep, I was going to say honey as well.
We need to have one where you can have those lifelines.
Is that your answer?
And then, like, you lose a point if you use them.
Is that your
like
answer?
the 50-50?
That's
Okay,
your
this is the only food that can't go bad?
Yes.
Twinkie.
Okay.
I don't think Twinkie is technically a food, but great.
Yeah, that's why it can't go bad.
It is honey.
Boom.
Honey can't go bad?
2-0.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I think Twinkies do have an expiration date. I think they.
I don't
they
think it's
expire
ever
after
been.
a while.
But that's the problem. In theory, they do. But I don't think
Right.
any Twinkie has ever gone bad.
Oh, shit.
No Twinkie manufactured
According
is
to
not
Twinkie,
edible today.
The snack food only has a shelf life of 26 days.
Oh, they have to say that legally, Jake.
That has to be like
That's
if it's out of
a
the,
lawyer wrote that.
That's like if it's unsealed or something.
You know what? That's
'Cause
planned
that's
obsolescence.
ridiculous.
No, it's
That's
not 26
ridiculous.
days. They do that so you buy another Twinkie every month. That's what that is.
I mean, that has to just be like 26 days
Who
out
buys
of the
Twinkies
wrap.
once a month?
you have to because they warn you, oh, this one won't be good in a month,
All right.
so you gotta go buy another box. No, you don't. You can
What-
have those forever.
What 90s boy band member bought MySpace in 2011?
Justin Timberlake.
It's a pretty good guess. I don't have a guess.
I'm going to wait for multiple choice.
I am too.
Jim's going to take the 2 points. Is it A, Nick Lachey, B, Justin Timberlake,
Yes.
C,
I
Sean
was really hoping he wouldn't be
Stockman,
on the list.
or D, AJ McLean?
Oh, I got this.
I'm going to go with Nick Lachey just because I don't want to go with JT.
Wait, bought MySpace?
Bought MySpace.
You
know what year?
it's Timberlake. Take the point.
In what year?
2011. It's got to be Justin Timberlake.
It's not
He's the only
fucking
one with
Carfax,
money.
Jacob. There's only been 2 owners of MySpace. Maybe 3 if Timberlake offloaded it.
I'm going to go with Timberlake.
Wait, you're switching over to Timberlake?
Yeah, I'm switching to Timberlake.
Because you want that 1 point. You gotta come along?
Oh, I just said it. I'm on Timberlake.
All right. We're all in.
Timberlake.
Yeah.
No.
Take that.
So-
3-3-2.
3-3-2.
I've come back, though. I'm closing the gap.
Kind of.
Was that all the questions for this round?
That's it for this round.
All right. I like this.
What was the
This is-
country club thing?
Oh, yeah. So okay. Do you have to play golf to join a country club?
No.
Why do people join country clubs?
There's different levels of membership for most clubs. So most clubs will have, because clubs will have like a restaurant there.
Okay.
They'll have club events that are always going on.
Okay.
They'll have, most of them have some sort of tennis component usually. And then there's golf. And then there's just kind of a social aspect.
Okay, so it's really
you
just
can buy a
hobnob.
membership that's everything. You can buy a membership that's the golf only, or you
Yeah.
can buy a membership that's just social.
That is an
That's it.
expensive price to pay to hang out with people.
Well, but it's not. You have to think of it like networking, because that's
Yeah.
really what it is.
That's it.
A lot of business deals happen at country clubs.
Oh, okay. Do you have to live in the community that represents
Depends on the
club?
country club, but most no.
Oh, see,
Most
that's
you don't.
kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like if I was,
No, it'd be weirder the other way around. Because
you'd have to live there.
no, yeah, if a country club said, "Well, no, you can't buy your way in,"
Well,
they're not going to say that.
I would be
There might
comfortable
be a
if it said,
discount. There might be a discount for
do
somebody
that.
who lives
Well,
in the
not
community.
just discount, but like, okay, you live here. Criteria 1 is established,
Like I think Anthem.
and now here's the fee if you'd like to buy in.
Yeah, like I think Anthem, which is a community here in Vegas that has a country club in it. I believe that if you live in Anthem, the country club price is cheaper.
I got to drive into Anthem the other day. So Anthem's in a town called Henderson. Henderson is attached to Vegas. We really consider just greater Las Vegas. But it's a section of Vegas. It's the
It's part of
southeast
the
side.
Vegas metro area.
It's nice. Yeah. Well, portions of it are. So Anthem is the nicest, I would argue, maybe to this day, the nicest neighborhood in the entire city.
Oh no, that's just wrong.
What do you think's number 1?
Like the Ridges are up there. There's,
Yeah,
I
there's a
agree.
new neighborhood.
I agree. There's
the
some
Ridges
competitive
The Ridges are
ones.
much nicer. They're like Anthem is very nice.
It's up there.
But
There's
Anthem is.
I think it's very competitive.
Anthem is like upper middle class
No.
into
No,
like
it's
the
not.
lower ends of upper class.
I drove through it, man. It's gorgeous.
Oh, of course, it's
Every
gorgeous,
house
but
was
there's way more
stunning.
gorgeous places.
No, the houses in Anthem run like mid to high 6 figures into the low 7 figures, and there are some parts of Anthem that go a little bit higher than that. Like the Ridges, you're starting at like 3-4 million for one of those. Actually, it's
I guess
higher
I
than
haven't
that now.
driven through that. So
Yeah, the Ridges is higher. There's also
That's West Vegas.
There's also there's a newer neighborhood now where most of the Raiders live and
Is that
several of the Knights
Southwest?
live.
Is that Southern Highlands?
It's not Southern Highland. No,
what's
Southern
his-
Highlands has been around for a while.
Yeah, because the coach, the one who was the racist one for the Raiders, he had a house in Southern Highlands.
Gruden,
Yeah.
like SJ, her band plays at a lot of these events that Nick is talking about. Like a lot of these country clubs have
Oh, cool.
events with live music. And so SJ's band goes out and plays
The
at these
Summit
things.
Club.
The Summit, that's what I'm
Yep.
thinking of.
Summerlin?
Summit is a new development.
New,
Oh.
it's,
Vegas.
it's a new country club, and
And it
West
is-
Side?
It's something
Very
like
fancy,
the lots start at $5 million.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just for an undeveloped lot.
So it's like up on the
$5 million.
mountain edge.
That's it,
like
yeah.
it's way up there in the top. Okay.
Yeah, it's very,
Yeah.
very nice. So like Anthem is super. Like I'm not taking anything away from Anthem. Anthem is super,
stunned.
super nice.
Well, here's one argument I would make, and then we'll get back to the questions. But one argument I would make that Anthem arguably could be higher. Monetarily, you're probably right, but I don't know that I fully agree that it's not the nicest because it gets grandfathered in with water and greenery. It has like standing ponds
It's
and
nice.
water features and lakes.
It's nice.
and it is
So does my
covered
house.
rich dark grass.
I don't know if it's grandfathered in though.
I
No,
think
they're
Kentucky
they're
got-
paying for it.
Yeah,
that's probably
because
There's no such thing as being grandfathered in
Yeah.
to those
same thing with
regulations.
Legacy. So like Legacy,
Yeah.
they had to pull a whole bunch of grass
Yeah.
out.
Right.
this
So did
past
Rhodes
year.
Ranch.
Yep.
Oh, they're
Or
gone.
Rhodes Ranch. That's the
Rhodes
one I was
Ranch
thinking
gone.
of. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
we have
Anyway.
to zeroscape everything out here.
Right.
And so that is like the highest end of privilege is you have grass or trees or
Yeah.
water features.
Like, I don't-
Businesses don't even have water features anymore.
I don't know that you would be permitted to put in the plants that are at my house now.
No,
If you built a new
that's
house.
what I'm saying. That's when I say grandfather. That's what I mean. Like all the new builds on the west side, they can't have that in their communities.
Well,
Anthem does.
You're just not allowed to plant it. That's all.
no, you can't do it. That's what I'm saying. But,
But
like
you can do
Anthem's
you can do
stunning.
plenty of other stuff.
Yeah, you could do butt stuff. I mean, there's
Yeah.
other things,
Yeah.
but it costs extra. So not everybody has butt stuff.
Not if
money.
you sweet talk them.
Yeah, it's true. You know what? Depends on how charming you
That's
are.
it.
You get a discount. Age gaps in relationship from Anonymous. Speaking of gaps in age. Hello, people of therapy, POT. I have a bit of a predicament that I need to get out to someone right now because I can't keep it in my mind forever,
Right on.
Let me get you caught up a bit if it's all right. I apologize if this is a long one or very complex. My pronouns, by the way, are he and him. My name is Chad. I'm
Hi,
18 and I'm trans. In March, I ran off across the states to live with my girlfriend, who's 22. Great, because I got out of the house I didn't want to be in, $100 to $200 to my name, and soon-to-be credit card debt. At that time, I was comically still in the online high school I enrolled myself in and just started acting/being like an adult. I'm finally graduated in May, and I never really thought I'd get this far, but I did, which feels really weird, but it's all right. Anyway, this is more about relationship, kind of. For a bit more context, we met online at first. Me and my girlfriend started dating when I was 17, which at the time I'm content and happy with, and I'm still very content and happy. I don't regret us starting to date when I was 17, but she has very valid negative feelings about us dating when I was young, due to my ex texting me and her in a group chat a month before I was 18, saying that she is grooming me. And to my understanding, it ruminated in her mind when she said that. She had lived a life growing up around predators, pedophiles, and dangerous individuals in her family. She never wants to be those people, and she's nothing like them. I defended her, immediately removed ourselves from this group chat, and helped to reassure her that she is nothing like a groomer, and everything my ex says is complete and utter bullshit, and we will never encounter them ever again gladly. She had only recently developed feelings for me a month before I turned 18, but I've had a small crush on her since I was 16 that rolled into a giant one, and I realized that I really was in love with her when I was 17. Now I'm 18, and we're still together, and our anniversary is in 2 months, November 2nd. My birthday is in December. I hate this accusation because it snowballed for her. No one else was ever accusing her of manipulating, mistreating, or grooming me, but she is so very afraid that she was. My lovely girlfriend is doing none of these things, and I am the most happy I've ever been in my life. When I'm with her, I can freely smile and cry and be myself. She makes me feel like I can do anything, that I can be anyone or do anything. I always try to reassure her the best I can, because she simply isn't a predator. She's not attracted or sexually attracted to teenagers or younger. I or no one else is in any kind of danger. She told all her friends and family I was 21, 22, or 19, anything but 18. And now she has to keep up with these lies forever. I haven't been an adult long enough to have gone to college or worked long enough to have experience to work at a good job. I'm being judged by her friends in shoes I'm too small to fill, and it's really embarrassing because her closest friends are all much older than me, and one of her friends has random-ass beef with me and calls me lazy because I haven't made any big progress in life. I eventually told my girlfriend to stop talking about me to her friends if she was just going to lie about my age because it's really embarrassing. After that, I went into a shell for my own reasons and stopped talking to anyone or any of the people she talks to for months. It really messed with my self-esteem that she would tell everyone that I'm essentially no one and so old, since I do wake up and immediately the first thing I tell myself is that I am no one and I am nothing. I don't really tell anyone about my relationship, so I haven't told anyone about our relationship except my previous therapist, who didn't really have anything to say to me except that she thinks my girlfriend is a step in the right direction and wants me to talk about her for my sessions. We've talked about these things. I can't help but imagine how horrible it must feel to think that you are someone who's preying on someone younger. I've talked about my frustration to her, but at some point I just stopped talking about it because it's not as important and really there's nothing I can do to get over it. We talk honestly about our feelings and what's on our mind as much as we can express. I love her. I really want to reassure her that she is someone I trust and that she has never done anything like the horrible people she grew up around. My questions are, is there something wrong with this that's super clear, but maybe I'm not seeing? And how can I best reassure my girlfriend, if I can, that she's not a predator and that she's not hurting me or manipulating me, or that she's not a pedophile or a predator? I'm so sorry this is a big wall of text. Thank you for taking the time to read this. You guys have a good day and take care. Anonymous.
Okay.
No, and keep doing what you're doing.
There it is.
Yeah. Honestly, I think this is...
We're going to take a quick break and
this one's a layup for us.
I think so.
Yeah, because...
I bet we all three just agree on it.
yeah, this is one of those things that... I don't want to not validate your feelings or where you are.
No.
I definitely understand.
I think all of your feelings are totally valid.
100%.
Yep.
And if I was in your position, I'd feel the exact same way. But I'm not in your position because I'm much, much older than you are.
Yep.
I won't say how much.
Older.
I'm way older than you are.
Way older.
And I can tell you that
Like when you were born, Nick and I were already old.
They were voting.
We were. Yeah.
Oh, that's just true.
That's true. That's 100% true.
We could rent cars.
Yeah.
Like,
We had 401ks.
yeah.
No, when
I think I did. I definitely had retirement by the time you were born.
this problem is going to work itself out without you having to do anything at all.
Yep.
This is the best problem to have. So, I mean, just thinking about and this is one of those things, okay, so there's 4 years difference.
Yeah.
Like if this
Going
is
back
a
to the
problem,
dog years point is interesting, right?
Yes,
55 to 51.
Yes.
No big deal.
No,
22 to 18.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Laura's 5 years younger than me.
You cradle Robin son of a bitch.
But it doesn't matter. And here's the other thing too, is like talking with your circle of friends, age comes up.
Sure.
Age is a thing.
Right.
Right. But as you get older, like as an example, Whitney, Peter, myself, and Laura are friends, and we would always hang out. We hung out with them for probably 3 or 4 years before I even realized that I was the oldest one in the group. Yeah.
Oh.
I thought we were all kind of the same age.
No, most people
I had
know that
no
about
idea.
you immediately.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, they knew, but
Yeah.
Nick didn't know.
Remember that time we went to
because
the
he's
bar
senile.
and those young guys, we were trying to hang out with them and I realized they called me old or something? I was like, oh.
Yeah, because I told them you were old.
They called you sir.
Yeah.
Hey.
But like
Whatever, Gramps.
But it's one of those things like you had no idea until like you're talking about, some cartoon you used to watch when you were kids and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I was in high school.
See, but that's why I think this actually... Okay, so here's... I agree with both of you, but here's where I think I would phrase it differently. I think this matters, but I think the conclusion's the same. I agree. It's all positives and fine. But matters in the sense that to us, it feels irrelevant. Your girlfriend being 5 years younger than you whenever you're knocking on 60 is not a big deal.
Nick.
Who the fuck are you looking at?
Yeah, you. 100%. Both eyes. I there's no question. So, but whenever you've got this writer who's saying the phrase that I like to use to describe age differences in dating, I don't look at the number. I look at and this is the phrase I've just always used to describe it. It's called station of life. So who you are at 17 or 18, I believe is a different station of life than somebody who's in their mid-20s. They are in a different station of life. That's usually true. Somebody in their early 20s, 22, 23, is in a different station of life than somebody 34, 35. And so now I do think at some point the stations of life get longer, right?
Yeah.
Somebody who's 30 and somebody who's 47 really probably might be in the same station of life. Like it's not that far off, which is why a lot of us don't really double take when we hear about that, and again, this goes back to the dog years concept, that the years get longer in that range, and so we start to not care. You know, if you're if you're 45 and your buddy, you know, you went to high school with comes in, he goes, "Oh, this is my, you know, fiance," and you know, I get to know her, and she's like, she casually mentions 38. You don't give a shit. You do not care. It's not an issue. Who cares? Because you're in the same station of life. You're all thinking the same way.
I agree. It does in his sense right now.
Because for the writer, it's like people are judging me, going,
matters to the writer.
It does.
You work at Hot Dog on a Stick?
But
it's
I
like,
think
oh, we're in our 20s, bro. Like, get it together. It's like, what?
I think
I'm 18.
I think what do you think they're hanging out with?
Hot Dog on a Stick.
I think Jacob and I are saying, though, that yes, it absolutely matters, and there's nothing you need to do about it.
Correct.
Well, yes, but I just want to agree with the writer that frustration, I think, is real life. And
It's a valid frustration.
It is, because like that would totally suck. Like when you're 18, my job when I was 18, where did I work? I worked at the mall, the Boulevard Mall, which we need to talk about. Jesus, it's a shit show. There's an actual swap meet in the mall now.
Good.
It's called El Mercado, and it is a Spanish Mexican themed swap meet inside of what used to be Macy's, and it is now these tiny little stores inside of this giant store.
Ridiculous.
And they sell like quinceañera dresses and like live goats.
How many quinceañera dresses did you buy?
Not enough
for the goats.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
How many goats did you dress up in quinceañera dresses?
El Mercado filled with probably, I don't know, 30 stores, all having to do with some kind of Mexican heritage concept.
Yeah.
And yet was the fanciest thing in the Boulevard Mall by a long fucking
They
shot.
used to have a couple of shoe stores in there that sold like super crazy high-end sneakers.
Oh, yeah.
Like people that are really into that and spend thousands of dollars on sneakers. Like that was one of the spots they used to
Boulevard.
go to. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then they
They
got
had
robbed.
to get out.
Yeah, they got robbed like a motherfucker. Like
Yeah.
it's terrible over there. Like half the stores are closed. It's just all empty. It's garbage. Absolutely garbage. Where did we come from this? Oh, anyway, that was my first job. I was working at a pen store in the mall, and I worked at a golf course. But like, I really agree with this, because especially when you're dating, you're getting measured by friends. Everybody's like, oh, what do you do? How? And it's like at 18, even like age and facial and life differences, an 18-year-old looks different than a 25-year-old. A 38-year-old don't look that different from a 42-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, except for us. Like, obviously, we look very different, you know, clearly. But, you know, besides the spring chicken thing I got going on. But yeah, 18 to 22, you
One day you'll be able to grow facial hair.
You feel less than.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, I was like, is this
below the belt.
Is this the fight you want to
Just
pick?
mean.
Yeah, let's
Just,
talk.
you know, can we get a flag, ref? Jesus Christ.
Who started it?
These are technicals.
I believe this falls under the category of don't start none, there won't be
You're
none.
not wrong. All right. That's a fuck around and find out on my part. All right. You know what? Mess with the bully, get the horns. That's fair. But I agree with the writer. I really feel like that sucks, that your partner felt so insecure or so ashamed. And look, I'm thinking about that. If I'm 22 and I'm dating an 18-year-old, I do feel a little nervous about that.
I don't feel
When they say,
nervous
when did
about
you
it.
start
Yeah.
dating?
I don't feel nervous
How long have you
about
been
it,
together?
But
a year and a half?
there might be a little bit of
I feel a little ashamed.
yeah.
I feel like,
I mean,
so you were 21 and they were 17 and you started dating them? That's illegal. I'm like, yeah, it was.
It's legal in most places.
We didn't have sex, but like, yeah, we started dating online.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's legal. That's legal. in
I
most
feel
places.
a little.
I don't think this is a legality issue.
Again, writer, I'm not agreeing. Like, obviously, your partner has done nothing wrong. You're correct. It's good that you reassure your partner. But I guess, writer, I want to encourage you to appreciate what they're feeling, because this isn't a binary thing. It isn't just a question of did they or didn't they do something illegal or wrong? Were they or were they not a groomer? It's allowed to be a gray area of I socially feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
A little itchy.
I don't love talking about
I don't want to
this.
broadcast it.
Yeah.
Now, when we're later on in life, which is why I think you guys are right, you do nothing because in 3 to 5 years, nobody gives a shit.
Right.
Then people go, how long have you been together? Oh, like 5 years. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing the math anymore. They don't care.
No.
But whenever it comes out that your boyfriend is 18 and you say, oh, happy anniversary, people do the math.
Yeah.
And it's going to come up.
That's it. I mean, I think all you can do is keep reassuring your girlfriend this is not a thing. It was not a thing. It never was a thing. You didn't do anything wrong. I was in this as well.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend recognized your adultness, maturity level, whatever it was, when you were 17 and 18 years old. And I think you can simply say, look, you knew I was mature enough to date when I was that age.
Right.
Go ahead and extend that benefit of the doubt to me here and say I was just mature enough for you to date.
Yeah.
That's like, it can just be not only was this person mature enough on their end for me to be attracted to them, they were mature enough on their end to make this decision whether or not they were going to date me as well.
Yeah, let me jump in with that and just add a little bit to it. I think just to complete that thought, because I could agree. So to the thousands of listeners, right, who are cringy, kind of going, oh, fuck, I really don't want us to justify.
Have thousands of listeners.
Sorry, to all 10 of you in the Discord. Yeah, to Whitney, who's hopefully listening at home. If you're feeling
don't forget to hit that download button.
Hit that. We need all the listens. If you could just, on every app, please, I'd appreciate that.
I downloaded this podcast off my record player.
So I know that there are some people who are going to feel like, that's how it works.
We put these out on Vital?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're very complete. Some people are going to feel
I know why
itchy.
you guys aren't making good money on this.
That's why we don't have any money.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Every episode
it's
we
very
stacks
expensive
of
to
vinyl
produce this
records.
show. We send them across the country.
Jesus.
Very slow. People are just getting to season 1. I get that some people are going to feel itchy and cringy about just the propriety of dating a 17-year-old. And sure, we don't need to endorse that. That's fine. Because presently, you are not. Presently, you're 18. So if she feels like, man, 21-year-old me dating a 17-year-old you, I look back on that. I don't feel proud of that. I think I should have waited that extra month until you turned 18. Okay, that's fine. Thank you for sharing. I'm glad you feel that way. Get it all out. That is not a concern anymore. I am 18. You are, we are both adults. It is not that big of a deal. If we had been in high school together, you would have been a senior dating me, a freshman. And you know what? Nobody would have given a shit. So I get it. Like, we crossed over that interesting legal threshold. You're allowed to feel itchy about it. You're allowed to feel a little bit uncomfortable with it. I'm not going to dismiss that, and I'm not going to attack that, and I'm not going to try to debate you or dispute it. These are just your feelings. You feel a little bit icky about when you allowed our relationship to start, and you feel like you should have waited. Okay, I receive that. I hope that over time you'll forgive yourself for that. I certainly see you for who you are. I know who you are. And presently, you are dating an adult. So there's really no concern.
And let's look to the future.
Right.
Let's look to where our relationship is going, not where our relationship has been.
Exactly.
I think the easiest way to show her that it's not or it shouldn't be that big of a deal for her is to show her that it's not that big of a deal for you.
Yes. Yeah. But I still agree with the writer that it's
I think
a
you should
tough...
get really fat.
Yes.
And
immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always
just
the
like
move.
really let yourself go.
Yeah.
And just be like, what? It's not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
See what
Nothing
see what a
is.
not a big deal this is to me?
Take it. But I get it. I mean, it sucks that you're being compared, because like a lot of life changes happen really fast. And so when their friends, the social circle's like, oh, you're 20, you're 21. And honestly, guys, here's another problem. Socializing in your early 20s is usually going to a bar or going to a restaurant, or something like that. And it's like everybody's ordering drinks. You can't. You're still at the kids' table. That's a hard lie to keep going. And I feel for the writer
Not when I
because
was 17.
not in Louisiana. But like, if I'm the writer, part of me wants to out myself and be like, look, I've lived enough lies in my life. I'm trans. Like I've had to go through transformation.
Yep.
This sucks that I'm finally who I want to be. I've gone to therapy. I've moved across the country. I've overcome a lot of fucking obstacles, and I still have to lie about who I really am because you're dealing with some shame. And like, look, that I feel for the writer. That sucks. And part of me would want to out myself to the social group and be like, look, everybody, I'm 18. And if that makes it weird for you, I'm sorry. If that's uncomfortable, but I don't know.
I wouldn't even draw attention to it. I wouldn't even do that.
I feel like it's your truth to tell. What if your partner never told anybody that you're trans? What if you felt like you wanted people to know, but your partner was ashamed of it?
No, but
it's your business. That's your identity.
Yeah.
You have a right to tell other people what your truth is, and if it's important to you. But like, let's say you and I are dating,
right? But his partner doesn't necessarily have that right to broadcast his business to other people.
No, but the partner is lying about the writer's identity to make the partner feel more comfortable, and that's uncomfortable for the writer, and I don't like that. I want the writer to be able to tell their truth.
Back up a little bit. Back up a little bit and just hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
The partner, the girlfriend,
yes,
is actively not telling people his business, the writer's business.
No,
they're lying.
girlfriend's
They're lying.
lying.
No, but lying is actively not telling them his business.
Lying? No. The writer has, or the writer's girlfriend lied to the friends and said, "My boyfriend.
Yes,
this is my boyfriend Tom. Tom is 21."
Yes, that is not.
That's not even omission. That's like saying Tom has always been a guy.
And listen to my words.
Okay,
that is so. Her telling her friends that Tom is 21 is actively not telling them Tom's business. Tom is not 21. Tom is an 18-year-old male.
Yeah.
They're not going into whether or not Tom is trans. They're not going into any of these other things because that's not their business. And frankly, none of their relationship is other people's business. No, I understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying none of these things are other people's business. So that's why we are saying all that Tom, to use this made-up name, all that the anonymous writer can do at this point is continue to reassure their girlfriend.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything wrong. You haven't done anything wrong.
Right.
You don't care about what other people are thinking about this because that's on them. That's a different issue than what this relationship is.
But I don't get the sense that Tom is Tom. Let's just go with
I don't know why
I
we assigned Tom, but Tom's just,
I don't get the sense that Tom is like, no, God damn it, I'm 18.
Tom does care.
I did not get that sense.
I feel Tom did say that.
No.
You read the same letter that we did. Settle down.
No.
Tom was upset.
Listen to me.
Get off the battle.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Tom is upset. That girlfriend is upset.
Yes.
That's what the writer's upset about.
And it's
furthermore upset that they're not able to relieve the girlfriend's sadness.
Exactly. I don't get the sense that the writer is upset that she's lying about his age. I don't think that that he feels very passionate that he wants to be represented as 18 years old. I'm not getting that sense. I think that the writer is saying I'm concerned because she's concerned, as evidenced by her having to lie about it.
Yes.
There's a whole paragraph in here about this. So I agree with you both. I think primary concern is I don't want girlfriend to think girlfriend is a predator.
Uh-huh.
I agree. We're all on the same page.
Great.
I do think it's bigger than maybe you guys are realizing. Because writer is saying, I mean, I won't even read it back because it's too much to read. It's 2 paragraphs of writer saying, I am upset. I've not been an adult long enough to have the resume they expect. I'm being judged. I'm being belittled. It's embarrassing. I've asked girlfriend to please stop lying to these other people.
Because of where he should be in life.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Tom has asked girlfriend, stop lying about my identity.
Gotcha. Okay.
It is uncomfortable for me. Please stop. So that's what I'm equating to what the other challenges Tom has gone through in life, because I agree. I can appreciate for Tom how that feels really difficult. And for Tom, too, who's moved across the country. This is the social circle now. These are my friends, too. I want to be me. And it sucks that I can't be. It sucks that you're changing my identity, and which is a big part of how people see me, based on what works better for you. I can appreciate for Tom why that's a problem. No, I agree with you guys. I think that in the end, this does go away. I think time is the solution. And I think that I agree with both of you that there's a lot of reassurance that can be continued to offer that says, look, like Jacob said, appreciate, who we are today. Don't fixate too much on the past. Think about the future. You didn't do anything wrong. If you feel that your friends wouldn't appreciate the nuances of our relationship, I understand why you're not going to, broadcast it. But I can appreciate Tom also having another line that says, however, I'm going to ask you to stop knowingly deceiving people about my age. You don't have to bring it up. You can be, cagey about it, but I don't feel good about you lying to conceal that we started dating when I was 17, because that changes the way people look at me and measure me. And I don't feel good about that because that's not who I am. I want to be seen for who I really am at 18, because maybe I'm pretty proud of myself at 18, but other people aren't impressed by me, and that sucks. I can appreciate Tom's position.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate it too. I'm just saying that, I feel like this kind of works itself out.
I agree. I do think it works it out with time.
I don't think you need to really actively do anything to make any big changes.
I think all you need to do is just continue to reassure your girlfriend that she didn't do anything wrong. All of that.
Or threaten the girlfriend. See, that's the move, is to say, look, The statute of limitations has not run out. I will press charges unless, and now you just get whatever you want. Now it's like, okay, so we're going to go to IHOP tonight, not Denny's. Like every time there's a dispute, that's the move, is I just keep bringing up.
It's a pretty powerful move
is.
to get IHOP instead of Denny's.
Also, 16
There's
is the average age of
quality
consent in
difference.
this country.
That's probably true.
It is true. I just looked it
That
up.
is true. That's true in Nevada for sure.
Thank you, Anonymous,
I
for
think
the
Nevada's 50.
layup question that we traveled,
Still debated.
threw it up,
Yeah.
hit the bottom of the backboard, and then kicked it out of bounds.
I like it. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're talking about I'm getting divorced. You're listening, not me,
But
the
what's
writer.
the question?
Yeah, also that. You're listening to Pod Therapy.
We're just wondering why it took so long.
Yeah, good. Today's episode is brought to you by Jake Schneider, Judy Schneider, Leon Kassab, Carolyn Albert, Sammy Scoop, Sarah Smith, Mike Helm, Darren Cunningham, Matt and Lisa Tangeman, and Mrs. Hot Dog Scoop. If you would like to sponsor the show, become a therapy producer. Patreon.com/therapy.
Score is 3-3-2. I have a gentleman's second place.
What is the most visited tourist attraction
Tourist.
in the world?
Oh, fuck. I feel like we've discussed something similar to this once. Most visited tourist attraction.
Tourist.
I just want to know what qualifies as a
I
tourist
know,
attraction.
because it could be a natural wonder. So like Grand Canyon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be a man-made thing like the fucking Eiffel Tower,
Well, I was thinking
which honestly I think it's between those two.
the Colosseum.
Ooh,
pretty big.
shit.
Could be the Acropolis.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think people go to Greece as much.
No.
Yeah.
I think you got
A
Eiffel
lot of
Tower.
people are in Rome, though.
I think Statue of Liberty just based on traffic in the harbor. Like, what constitutes a visit?
I think you got to. I think if it's if it's Statue of
I think-
Liberty, like connecting in JFK, and you see it out your window,
Well,
doesn't
do the
count.
ferries count if they don't land on Ellis Island?
No, I don't think so.
I think buying
they
a
do.
ticket.
It's a sightseeing
wait,
ferry.
Buying a ticket.
Wait. Back up 1 second. Are you aware that the Statue of Liberty is not on Ellis Island?
No, that's where it was. Shut
Oh
up.
my God!
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
No,
What
it's
the
not
fuck
an
is?
Ellis
Why do
Island.
I even
It's
know
on
what Ellis
Liberty
Island is?
It's the Statue of Liberty. It's on Liberty Island.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Ellis Island is a different island
Why do I even know what Ellis Island
Because
is? Who gives
Ellis
a
Island
fuck
is
what
where,
Ellis Island is?
because that's where immigrant
Is that
control
why it's
was
special? Okay.
Yeah, every immigrant came through, so you'd see the Statue of Liberty on the
Okay.
boat
Jesus.
while you're docking in Ellis Island.
Wow, I am learning a lot today. All right.
Our pal Jim done learned a thing.
We're going to run the wheels off that jingle.
I doubt it.
It's going to hit the ground.
You have to keep learning
We're
things.
gonna-
I'll tell you what. I'm going to go
Etch a
for the.
groove
I'm going to
on
go for
that
the
one.
1 point. I'm waiting for multiple choice.
You're going to take the multiple. What are you going to go with, Jake?
Man, I'm going multiple as well because the answer could be like the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah, it could be anything. Jesus. I'm going to go ahead and go for 2.
Go.
I'm going to take... God help me. Grand Canyon.
All right, so Jim's going to
Fuck,
continue.
it's going to be
just have
Great
2
Wall
points.
of China. Hold on. I would like to change it.
He's locked in.
God
Moving on.
fucking damn it. There's
Nope.
too many people in China. It's going to be Great Wall. Fuck.
Our options are
I bet Great Wall's not even on the list.
Eiffel Tower,
Uh-huh.
Statue of Liberty,
Great.
Fuck.
Great Wall of China,
God damn it.
or the Colosseum. So Jim's out.
God damn this game.
Oh, boy.
Fuck.
I don't even care what the answer
I
is.
am gonna. I'm gonna go with.
I've forgotten what the answers were.
I'm gonna
What
go
are
with
they again?
Eiffel Tower, Statue of Liberty, Great Wall of China, or Colosseum.
God damn
All
it,
right.
Grand Canyon. Fuck.
I'm gonna go with the Eiffel Tower.
Shit.
I'll go Statue of Liberty.
Eiffel Tower.
There you
Wow.
go. 4 to 3 to 2.
All right. I guess I wouldn't have gotten anyway. Oh, that's
No.
a little bit
No, I got
redundant.
5 now, right?
No, that was just 1 point.
No, because it was 3, 3, 2.
Yeah. So now
last
you're
time.
at 4.
So now you
Oh
have
yeah,
4.
you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
So 4, 3, 2.
So 4, 3, 2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What is the heaviest organ in the human body?
Let me show you.
D's
Look at these nuts. Heaviest organ. Are you going to be like skin? I don't know. It's not that heavy. I don't know. Maybe it is. Because a lot of layers to the skin. Or brain. 8 pounds, right? Average human brain?
The head is 8 pounds. I
Well,
don't think
but
the brain
organ.
is.
Well, yeah, you're probably right. Because the skull. Fuck, man. Liver? Stomach. Oh, I'll bet you. You know what? Give me stomach.
You're going for 2?
I'll take it for 2. I need to. I'm desperate.
Jim's going for 2 with
I have
stomach.
I have 2.
I'm going to go for ones. I'm
Me
waiting for
too.
multiple choice.
Yeah, I'm hanging out.
Come on, be there.
Stomach's not going to be on the list.
How generous are we willing to be with this?
Okay.
Because stomach can be upper and lower intestine. Like, how specific do
No,
I have to
it's
be?
stomach.
Oh, fuck both of you. Come on. You got to give me some
You
gray.
don't get to pick multiple
God,
organs.
Come on, man. So
Why
I got
would
to
you pick multiple
Well, they're
organs?
all fucking attached.
Oh, in that case,
There's
I'll go
sections.
Body.
Oh, come the fuck
body
on.
then.
That's like being like, oh, you can't say brain. You got to say right hemisphere, left hemisphere. Come on, fuck on. It's
That's
a
the
stomach.
same
It's one
organ.
digestive system.
No.
Brain isn't brain. If you said head is not the brain.
All right, fine. I'm sticking with stomach, but I don't. If it's all right, let's
It's
just see
not
what the
going
answer
to
is.
matter.
Let's just see what
It's
the
not going to matter.
Let's see what the
Okay. Brain, liver,
Great.
skin,
Uh-huh.
or heart.
I said 3 of those. Fuck.
Yeah, none of them were your answer. That's why I was like, let's move
like
on.
the
'Cause
last
it's not going
one.
to be the stomach plus the
God
intestines.
damn
I'm going
it.
skin.
Jacob or myself.
Skin.
I'm going skin.
Fuck.
It probably is skin, but
It
just to be
is.
different, I'm gonna go brain.
All right.
It's gonna be skin.
Liver.
Liver.
Oh.
okay.
I knew
All right.
liver was dense.
Oh, that's
Okay.
probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So still 4-3-2.
4-3-2.
Yep.
Well, that's good. As much as I screw up, you guys equally get to the same place I did. So I'll take that action.
Yeah, sure.
Is there
Did we
still more
though?
questions?
We didn't beg to include intestines with the stomach as the same organ.
It's your own fault. I'm getting divorced from almost single Dr. Nurse Joey. It's Joey, by the way, which is important because I think in the history of the show, I've always said Nurse Joy.
Yeah.
Almost Dr. Nurse Joy. And Joy is actually Joey.
So you can stop giving me shit about tour.
No, you're pronouncing it wrong. I put a wrong letter in there. I thought it was Joy.
Calling someone by the wrong name is pronouncing it wrong.
Well, yeah, but I spelled it wrong.
I would say you're both doing
We're
the
both
same
spelling
thing.
Taurus the same way. We're just
All right, moving on.
saying it differently.
I don't know why you just brought an astrological sign into
I was
this.
going to say that. I just realized the way
You,
I say
you definitely
Taurus,
say it Taurus.
it sounds like a Ford Taurus.
yeah.
Yes.
Taurist.
Tourist.
It's not that
There's
far
a U
off.
in there.
Tourist.
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 I hear your queue has diminished, so I thought I would send in an update to my semi-recent letter titled Begging Spouse for the Bare Minimum. I'm getting divorced. To be clear, right at the top of this thing, we are not sad girls about this.
Okay.
This is a great thing.
Great. Congratulations, then.
I made the decision while on a humanitarian trip to Africa in July. This is a trip that I have been on before and sits near and dear to my heart. I haven't been in several years thanks to COVID, but my team had many repeat trippers who know and love me. While on the trip with these old friends, I had people meeting my needs, non-sexual physical touch and quality time, which are my top 2 love languages, asking for my expertise and skills, all while not needing anything from me, doing all these things just because they love me and we're a team. That stark contrast to my home life was incredibly eye-opening, and I realized I could not go back to living in a world where no one is meeting those extrinsic needs. As I began questioning whether or not to stay and try one more time, I started experiencing really intense panic attacks, nausea, loss of appetite. Once I made the decision, I felt nothing but relief. A huge weight was lifted off my shoulders. When I returned home and broke the news, husband had an episode of explosive anger, which by itself is nothing new, and began threatening me, my safety, and the financial safety blanket I've spent the last few years building. I ended up with a shattered phone, a broken foot, broken ribs, and a concussion before he left our apartment in anger. I immediately changed the locks, bought my dad a plane ticket to help me load a U-Haul and get the hell out of there. I moved back to my hometown, about 1,000 miles away, to a beautiful apartment that is all mine, and I found an incredible job that is going to allow me to provide a really comfortable life for myself. My high school reunion took place a few weeks after I returned to hometown, where I connected with some old friends and really hit it off. I'm newly able to truly be myself and realized I'd been watering myself down at his request so as not to make him feel bad about himself regarding his lack of accomplishments and skills. I realized I haven't lived in my own home full-time for 4 years for work and school. If I had, I probably would have been divorced a long time ago. I know you're going to mention it, so I'm casually seeing a therapist friend until my benefits kick in and I can afford to see an official therapist, which is really fun because she can talk to me the way y'all do on the show and call me on my bullshit without disrupting the therapeutic relationship. I'm doing really okay, struggling with sleeping more than 2 or 3 hours a night and minimal appetite, but otherwise really well. Thank you so much for your feedback and advice in the last question. Here's to fresh starts. Almost single Dr. Nurse Joey.
Okay.
Was there a question in there?
Follow-up letter. I think
just let us
follow-up
know.
letter.
Awesome.
Yeah, to I mean, what a story.
Yeah.
What a story.
Congratulations
Wow.
on the experiencing all of that, the abuse stuff that was all there, experiencing all of that in a single night,
Jeez.
and
Wow.
getting up and immediately taking action.
Yes.
Is extraordinarily impressive.
Yes.
Well done. Congratulations on
Yes.
that. That is impressive is the word
Yes.
that I was thinking about while Jim was reading. I was like, what word do I want to put on this? And impressive is what I landed on. That is what I feel in that moment.
Huge.
I am just impressed with your fortitude and your courage and all of that.
Took action.
Well done.
Took action.
Well done. Proud of you.
It's always interesting to me, when a situation like this happens where you're like, not sure if, I'm going to file for divorce. I'm not sure if this is the right call, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then you experience domestic violence and abuse.
Right.
And then it's almost kind of like affirming, like, oh yeah, if I was
Right.
ever on the fence,
Yes.
I got my answer.
Pretty
like, this
clear.
is definitely the right thing to do.
Right.
At this
This
point.
is how you responded when I told you
Yeah.
that I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
There is no doubt after that.
Mhm.
But the ability to move on so quickly and to get back to your roots. One thing that the writer talked about, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that I think this is pretty universal for most breakups, whether it just be just a breakup or a divorce. Don't think that you're always going to be in those high times all the time.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're still going to have some
there's going to
down.
be peaks and there's going to be valleys.
Yeah.
And when you're at that peak, it's really good to feel good about yourself, feeling like I'm making the right decision. All these things are going to go my way. There's going to be valleys too, and
Right.
just to kind of be prepared for that. And that doesn't mean that you're wrong for making that decision. It just means that there's going to be that when you hit that valley, there's going to be another peak.
Right.
And you just kind of have to ride the wave, and things will eventually settle down. But, you made a decision. Seems like you're very confident in that decision. It seems like it's probably a good decision, so I just want to throw that out there.
And super scary though.
Yeah,
and that's why it
absolutely.
takes so long to build up the courage to do these kinds of things. And also people deliberate, right? And
Yep.
rightly so. They are thinking about it, talking about it, reading books about it. A lot of people go through ebbs and flows in relationships, and it's hard for people to always know, is this the kind of relationship that you divorce, or is this the kind of relationship that you work on? And like it's a sliding scale, right? It's very hard to know the difference. But I just really want to appreciate that. A couple of weeks ago, I don't know if it was last episode or a couple of episodes ago, we had a question where we were talking about relationships, and I had thrown out this verbiage that I like to use about conditional love. And I talked about how in my book I had also mentioned I think that love is inherently conditional when we're talking about relationships. And Whitney had kind of needed me to clarify that, which I appreciated. She's talking about, well, you have kids, you have a relationship. There is such a thing as forgiveness. There is such a thing as holding on to somebody and not constantly measuring them, which is all true. But I think that this is something, because as a therapist, and I do a lot of couples work, I default to keeping relationships together, right? Of course, I want everybody to work it out, to be happy. You're coming here for help. Let's get it done. But I appreciate stories like the writers, where you are not being treated well.
Right.
And you don't have to live the rest of your life with that because you signed a document and made this social declaration that we all call marriage. I think it takes a lot of bravery. I think it takes a lot of self-insight, and I think it takes a big first step to be able to say, as the writer did, you know what? I choose not to do this anymore. and I don't believe that I'm being loved in ways that are meaningful or satisfying to me. And obviously the domestic abuse thing is the cherry on top, and I'm sure that wasn't the first time. But this is what I mean, as I did in that other episode, when I talk about conditional love. I don't want people to feel that they are trapped in a relationship no matter how they are treated.
Yeah.
No, how you are treated fucking matters. And if you choose to exit the relationship because of that, that is appropriate. That's how all human relationships are. Even if you have a child, if they're absolutely horrible to you, they beat the shit out of you, they burn your house down, you can always have an affection for them, a love for them, a loyalty to them, but that doesn't mean you have to tolerate them in your life. And I think that that's exactly what happened here. Nurse Joey just said, you know what? Enough's enough. I'm done. And I think that's brave, as you said. I think it's impressive. I think taking that action, but I think it sends a signal to all the listeners. If you're out there and you're struggling in a relationship, that doesn't mean it has to end. I think you can work on it. Obviously, a therapist, I believe in that, but I just appreciate we don't hear these stories very often so that we can highlight them and say, you know what? That was a good move. You did the right thing. And it also highlights you do not have to put up with this bullshit. You can leave, and that's the right move to do. It's okay to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nice.
Scary as hell.
Yep.
Really scary. But congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate the update. Thank you.
Yeah, that's huge. Hey, speaking of which, Nurse Joey mentioned that the queue of questions is a little bit low. There is an expressway to the Pod Therapy podcast. If you would like to get your questions into the top of the queue, good news. The queue is empty. In my mouth. The queue's empty, folks. This is your chance. Go to podtherapy.net if you'd like to submit it anonymously. There's a little button there. You can submit your question. Super duper easy. It dumps right into our Tumblr. You can title the question and everything right there. And you can make up a false email address just to trick the little machine so it lets you bypass it. Or you can email us directly, podtherapyguys@gmail.com. And again, you've realized by now that almost all of our letters, we say that the writer is anonymous. A lot of our letters come in through email. And we know who wrote it. But obviously, we've been doing this for 6 years and we're shrinks.
Yeah.
So we say it's anonymous because if they don't sign it at the end as Bob or whatever, then we just go with anonymous.
We're going to read with whatever name you sign the email with. That's what's going to get said on the show.
Comes up whatever you want. So podtherapy.net or podtherapyguys@gmail.com. We've got our 300th episode coming up. So if you've been sitting on a good juicy question for a while and you're like, you know what? This would make a good episode. Let's get it in there for the big one coming up at 300. Maybe yours will be the lucky ones chosen for episode 300, which is coming up shortly.
If you don't send them in, it just means Jim's going to talk more.
Yeah, it means that we're going to have to fill that time with something else.
Because we're going to do a show, and Jim's just going to talk more.
It's going to fill.
He's going to do that, or he's going to bring in a board game.
He's going to do an ADHD deep dive.
My games are good.
And
My
then we'll
Jeopardy
be here until
one
episode
crushed.
400.
You're just jealous. That's what it is, because I make better games than you. As we wrap up the show, we want to remind you, patreon.com/therapy has the extended show ad-free a day earlier. And you get access to our live chat, Discord community, our weekly deep dives, interview, skill shares, and research roundups. This week, you, Nick, released another classic study, which is also the namesake of your fantasy football team.
Correct.
Very, very cool. And what's the title of that episode?
It's Classic Studies in Psychology, the Milgram Shock Experiment.
Like it.
Or something to that effect.
I believe it's called Two in the Pink, and never mind. That's a different shock. Different thing. So yeah, patreon.com/therapy. Check that out. And then I've got a new one coming up. I'm now doing a series that I'm developing right now, but the first one comes out next week on theories of psychotherapy.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so the first one's going to be on solution-focused brief therapy, and I'm going to do one on CBT, motivational interviewing. I've been doing a really deep dive, just academically and research-wise, into the history of MI, and really starting to break into what they were trying to answer, what they were working on, and what the fundamental skills are. That is a really great read to just ever go back and because we trained a lot in MI, motivational interviewing, but I don't know.
I thought you meant Michigan.
Michigan as well.
Yeah.
Pure
all
Michigan.
of your training in Michigan.
I do all my training in pure Michigan. We didn't, I don't know if you did this, but in my grad work and in my professional work, I never really visited the history of it. I never really did a lot of academic work in it. I just learned it as a practical skill.
Yeah, we dug more into the history of solution-focused brief therapy.
Yeah.
And solution-focused and
MI or adjacent. Yeah.
they're siblings.
Right.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Really exciting stuff. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun exploring all that stuff, but we've got some new patrons to thank. New TheraPals have joined the flock. Who's with us, Nick?
We got Mike J. Nilsson.
I like that. I believe it's pronounced J.
Okay.
Yeah. And we've got new Therapod, Michael Z. And of course, we want to thank our 3 Therapartners, the Trace Amigos, Dirty B, Myra, and Pickett. Every time I say...
Yeah, that's
There it
exactly
is.
what I was
There it
thinking.
is, yeah.
And the 3 amigos, I was thinking that.
Every time I say Pickett's name...
I'm Dusty Bottom. I'm Lucky Day. I'm Ned Niederlander.
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Nailed 'em.
Buttercup. What was the song that they sang in that one?
My little buttercup has the sweetest smile. My little buttercup, won't you stay a while?
What's those are shouts, right?
something,
My
something.
little buttercup.
that's at the end,
This
though.
little buttercup.
That's at the end.
I love
We missed the bridge. All right, we'll work on it.
We'll come
we'll
back
have
to
it
that.
ready next week.
We'll have it as an
Seafood
opener.
sugar cookie.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Our
on the
first big
debut.
hit.
Yeah.
That's the first single.
Buttercup.
And it's exactly what we just did though. Just that cut. That's the drop.
Fine.
That's the opening to the album right there.
Let's just make that the music for the podcast.
I like that's right. It may as well. It's all garbage.
I'm not giving you my claps for free.
That's right. He charges for the 8-beat measure.
Yeah.
It's like Snoop Dogg. We want to thank our bosses, the mysterious and shrouded Illuminati members of the fan club, the Thera producers. Thank you, Jake Schneider, Robert Brownie Jr., Mint, Smitty Scoop, Ben Dawn, Judy Schneider, Kayla Lansbury, Mrs. and Mr. Hot Dog Scoop, Malia, Leon Kassab, Mason Miller, Richard Macy, Carolyn Albert, Kevin Chamberlain, Tess Miller, Sammy Scoop, Ben Stanley Slap in Your Face, Sarah Smith, Adam Hathaway, Byler T, University Jeff, Mike Helm, Paris, Samantha Cohn, Darren Cunningham, Lib, Team Monaco, Thunder, Cougar, Falcon Scoop, Matt and Lisa Tangeman, Heyo, Oscar Swanrose, a sunny boy, Slurpy Kaye, motherfucker, Sandra McWaffle, Dan Martin, and Hannah Marie.
And if you'd like to hear this episode uncut and unedited,
And why wouldn't you?
and enjoy our spontaneous side projects, go to patreon.com/therapy. And thank you for supporting mental health.
That's all the time we got for this week's session. I want to thank our landlords, Matt Mattingly's Ice Cream Social Podcast, and thanks to those of you who contributed to the show today. We really appreciate it. Remember, pod therapy isn't something to keep all to yourself. Share the episode with the world. Tag us on the socials when you do. It's at PodTherapyGuys on Instagram and Twitter, /PodTherapy on Facebook. Don't forget about the extra goodies at patreon.com/therapy, and send us your questions at PodTherapy. Go ahead, Nick.
Do you want to submit a question
There
to
it
the
is,
show?
that
Of course
part.
you do.
Yeah.
Ask anonymously at podtherapy.net or email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com. I'm Nick Tangeman. And that's Ned Niederlander.
My Little Buttercup song.
Thanks, and we'll see you for your
Three
appointments
amigos.
next week.
All right, give us some more.
Okay,
some
here
more
we
trivia
go.
questions.
Here we go. All right. Who made the third most three-pointers?
Jim, turn your phone off.
Sorry.
Who made the third most three-pointers in the playoffs in NBA history?